Terrific. All right. Well, welcome to our Cortese Monday night call. And my name is Lolly Leeson, and I'm a international marketing director with the Juice Plus company. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to all. And we come together each Monday night to share our community and education in understanding whole food nutrition and what we have in our Juice Plus products. And we have talking circles like this one, virtual and in person, um, all the time going on all around the world. And before we get to our speaker tonight for the evening, I want to share a little bit about the history of our company. And our company was founded by Jay Martin in 1970. And he started this company with a mission to bring to the market products that truly are foundational to protect the quality of our lives. And he first started in the 1970s with smoke detectors for the home, and then air and water filtration for the home in the 1980s, and the Juice Plus family of products in the 90s with our capsules and our chewables, and the Tower Garden in 2012. And all of these products are really have been ahead of their time. And from that point forward, now 50 years later, we're a company that still promotes the message of inspiring healthy living around the world. We have a narrow product line on purpose. And today we are in over 27 countries with our products and partnership business. And the Juice Plus product line and our Tower Garden technology is recognized around the world. And in addition, Jay Martin put into place an opportunity to engage individuals from all walks of life to align, promote, and be compensated for their efforts in doing so. So we truly do inspire healthy living and giving by bringing people together. So I want to get to our main event and talk about our speaker tonight and our topic, which is something I know on everybody's brains and minds. And the topic is better brain, better body, better life. And our speaker tonight is Rosalyn Baker-Ingham. And Rosalyn is a brain fitness coach. She's a certified mental health integrative medicine provider. She's a master addiction counselor and a certified nutritional consultant. And she has a master's degree in social work and is a marriage and family therapist. Rosalyn is also a neurotherapist where she retrains live brainwaves with computer software and has seen numerous conditions, including ADHD, depression, anxiety, and also memory loss instigated by COVID damage. She has seen remarkable repair to adequate wellness with brain training and significant eating of healthy food. The constant toxic overload from electromagnetic fields, pesticides, herbicides, and heavy metals take their toll. She has lectured throughout the US and passionately promotes the necessity of nutritional excellence in achieving healthy cells in the brain and body. And I just love Rosalyn's unwavering conviction and belief over the years in Juice Plus. So I'd like to introduce Rosalyn, and she's going to talk to us about brain health. Okay,
Right.
you can take it away, Roz.
Right. Well, thank you so much. This is such an exciting opportunity for me. I love being on the call with all of you, and you just mean a lot to me to just that you get on and you listen and you're kind of just part of all this with me. So it feels good to have you here. So I'm going to share. This is always my challenge here to share my screen here. So let's hope that it comes on okay, because that's what we have to do. So we were trying to get that to work, and looks like it's working. So I'm always glad when that happens. So now we can get rid of this one. Let's see. Okay, so that look okay, Lolly? I'm gonna ask Lolly the okay, okay thing.
It
So
looks perfect.
perfect. I'm so glad to hear that. It's always a good thing when that happens. So anyway, what I would love to do is just, again, thank you all for having me here. It's just an honor to be able to share this with all of you. And I love talking about the brain and I love talking about Juice Plus. So everything flows really well. Our brain is the captain of our ship. It is the thing that basically keeps us going every single day. We have 90 billion neurons, and when I go and I start thinking about all that we have in our brain that keeps us thinking and moving, and we seem like it's one entity. We're just a thing walking around in the universe, but we're not. We are multiple things all working simultaneously together, almost like a miracle for sure. Our motor skills, our memory, our language, our whole personality, it's in control, because of our brain. So it's 3 pounds, 3-pound piece of this wonderful matter that keeps us going through the world. And so now I'm gonna say, where's my little screen? That's not, now my little screen has decided it's gonna decide not to show up for me here. So let's see how that works. I'm not quite sure. It's like, interesting. Let me just see if I can get that to go
I
through.
think it will just advance, Rosalyn, if you started the slideshow. So if you just click the forward button
Forward button.
on your desktop, the forward button, it should just go.
Well, let's see if it does from the beginning. I'll just assume that and let's see. Oh, very good. All right, we got it. Okay, so here's some good, interesting facts and thoughts. You guys can read through this, but basically brain tissue is just the size of a grain of sand. It contains 100,000 neurons and 1 billion, synapses. And so we have blood vessels that just travel through our whole body that are basically in our capillaries mostly, but it could travel around the Earth's circumference several times. And we have 60,000 thoughts that the human brain produces every day on average. And 20 million skin cells are lost every hour, or 5 billion in a day and regrown. So it's always interesting to me when, we hear all these pieces of data, because then we really do know that it's kind of a miracle. And this is something that I'd like to do. I hope this is not being is this in the picture over here? I don't want it to be in the picture. But what we see here basically is what brains look like. So on the left, you see the normal brain. And then on the right, you see a brain that's diagnosed with ADHD. And so what this person is doing in the chair is he's basically getting neurofeedback, which is what I do as a clinician. I'm a talk therapist for people with, marriage and family problems, but I also retrain brain waves, because brain waves are such an important part of who we are and what makes us work. So I'm just going to move this over here so that we can get out of that picture. So as you can see, the PTSD brain, where it's all dark blue, that's the activity of a normal brain, where the lighter brain, PTSD, where there's been trauma to the brain, basically you can see underactivity in the brain. It's just not signaling well. It's not feeling well. It's not communicating. And then you have a normal brain with bipolar disorder, and you have, a bipolar brain. So you see the bipolar brain is red, and red basically means it is overfiring in that communication of that picture right there. And then in depression, we see the darker blue brain on the right, where we have a depressed brain, where the signaling just is not communicating well, and it's just not getting through it in a meaningful way at all. So what we know is that the brain is 78% H2O. It only takes 2% dehydration to affect our attention and memory and our other cognitive skills. And I have to say something about that, because some of you may know that last year was a challenging year for me. My husband died in December 11th of 2022. And then we had the celebration of life in July 28th for him. And so I worked really hard to get through everything I was getting through. And then 3 weeks after the celebration of life, I went down to the Secretary of State's office with my driver's license to get plates for the car. And I was talking with the clerk, and I literally just fell over from an upright position and landed on my head right here and ended up in the hospital. And for 2 solid weeks, I remember nothing. I have no pictures in my head. I have no conversations. I don't know who visited me. And I was very, very sick to the point where the doctors told my family that they weren't sure that I would actually survive this head injury and come back the way they would all want me to. All they could do was wait and be patient with the process. And so 2 weeks after my injury, I started to get my memory back. They switched me over to a rehabilitation hospital, and I spent 2 weeks in there, and then I was sent home. And that was September 21st. And then the last week of August and the beginning of November, I went back to work on Zoom with my clients like this who knew me well and I knew them well. And then I just have slowly rebounded. But I think what's so important to think about where all this is concerned, it's so important to remember our little 3-pound piece of brain basically keeps us going, that it works like a miracle. It's it keeps us hydrated, keeps us thinking, it keeps us living life well. And what I was told by the doctors that they all thought that I had had a brain bleed the night before and then fell over and hit my head and it got worse. There was no indication I had any brain bleed. I didn't have dizziness or lightheadedness or anxiety or any of that. I was stressed out. It was a busy year, but I was stressed out. But I think what happened is what the kidney doctor told me. He said that he thought as a diabetic, I'd let myself get dehydrated and my blood pressure had gone up when Dave died and I was on blood pressure pills. And he says, I think you just basically passed out. And I said, well, that's good for me to know. He says, you don't have to come back and see me for 3 years. And I said, well, I'm a diabetic. I've been diabetic since age 28. And he said, you have no problem with your kidneys. There's nothing wrong with you. And that was such an encouraging thing to hear, because usually that's what we assume, right? We just assume something's wrong with us and we'll need to see a kidney doctor at some point. And I was very relieved to hear him say 3 years till I had to go back. I thought that was very, very promising. So we just know that, emotions are an important part of it. Basically what he told me, he just basically told me that I didn't need to worry so much and I just needed to stay calm and collected and be happy and healthy and keep my brain healthy. And you can see here where the brain on the left looks like it has holes in it and the brain on the right looks like it doesn't have holes. The holes are just the low levels of hydration in the brain. And when you have low levels of hydration in the brain, you can't send those electrical currents and the electrical signals in a way that makes it meaningful for the whole brain to comprehend and know what it's experiencing. So, we just have to keep putting ourselves in a healthy position to believe we can be capable of feeling well. And we just know that in our lifetime, we are now influencing our genes, but we've learned now through the science that Juice Plus has done and other people have done, we now know that only 5% of disease-related gene mutations are fully deterministic, that we're born with the genetic impulses to affect a particular disease, while 95 can be influenced by diet, behavior, and other environmental stressors. And I think that's really critical for us all to remember when we think about taking care of ourselves and what that all means. So, we know that we have research on that. The Good Juice Plus company has done research. They've done 6 studies showing how the Juice Plus protects our DNA and basically keeps us healthy. But we see that emotions play a big role. I think about a situation where they're going to go out for dinner, a husband and wife, and the husband says, oh, let's go to this restaurant. And the wife says, no, I don't want to go to that restaurant. It's too expensive and I don't have the money. We don't have the money for that restaurant. And the husband's like saying, well, it's only food I'm hungry for tonight. I don't really want to go to the other place. Let's just go to this one. Well, who's going to win this argument? Who's going to get to choose whether they go out to dinner or don't go out to dinner? The husband or the wife? And which restaurant are they going to go to? And I think that it's just all about our emotions and who drives our emotions the most by being in a situation where we just basically stick to our guns and kind of profess our emotionality. So when we think about what we're doing to help others, is basically we're helping ourselves when we help others. So when we feel good, and we share the nutritional products that we have here, we all basically feel really healthy and really positive and really strong and capable for what we have to share with other people. And I know that's why we get on these calls and do it. So here's an example of why people believe in this product. I mean, I'm a scientist in terms of my work I do. I'm not a scientist, but I feel like a scientist sometimes. But here's half of the research studies conducted on Juice Plus, randomized, placebo-controlled, peer-reviewed, and these are half of them. And so you see, it's a powerful, powerful product because it gives us a lot of what we need in order to just feel healthy and to feel balanced and to feel good about ourselves. So, when I think about the nutrient powerhouse that we get with our products, and when I think about the disease prevention that we get, and with me being diabetic, that certainly means a lot to me. And then when I think about, the mental well-being, we all know that if we're not mentally well, we're not going to feel well. And so we have to be well in order to help other people feel well too. And our gut has to be healthy. If our gut isn't healthy, then we're not going to be healthy and our brain won't work very, very healthfully. So I think we just have a lot of things that we have to keep in touch with where whole food is concerned. And we talk about our food being organic because we know that it has no contaminants on it whatsoever. And so we know we can talk about having the healthiest food that has been researched and proven to take care of us in the best way that we can take care of ourselves and take care of others as well. So for me, this longevity feature, which we know that when you take Juice Plus, you basically live longer years than you do if you don't take Juice Plus. We know that because we see people like me. I turned 70 this summer, and I'm really proud of that. So I think all of us who are living a long time are proud of ourselves for being able to live a long, healthy life and rebound quickly from illnesses and from suffering and things like that. So most of us are really aware that we have to have a healthy brain and we have to have a healthy body too, in order to survive for as long as we want to survive. So I think that, we just realize incorporating a colorful variety of fruits and vegetables is really the best way we can all do that. I mean, that's, when we started this, when I got into the business, 16 years ago, people were just learning about the power of fruits and vegetables. And the Juice Plus company has taken fruits and vegetables and with these research studies and with the acclamation of all these universities, we have gotten the word off the ground as to how powerful and important fruit and vegetables and plant-based smoothies are. I do my smoothie mix every day. That's how I start my day every day, with a smoothie, because I just know it's the powerful way to get the nutrition that I need and to feel well. So everyone on this call notices just that this is just the way that we all want to be now. We all want to just take care of ourselves and take care of those that we love. So, so one of the things that has come out now is this new product called Luminate. And Luminate is an interesting product because although we consume a lot of fruits and vegetables and we get a lot of nutrient value from our fruits and vegetables and our Juice Plus, one of the things that and I see this as a neurotherapist where I retrain people's brain waves because they're so tired. They don't think, they don't get up easily in the morning. They don't feel well. They don't conduct themselves in an energetic way. And they come in, they just say, I'm depressed, I'm tired, I just don't feel like I have the motivation to get stuff done, and I need help. And I understand you do neurofeedback and you retrain brainwaves. And I said, yeah, I do that. And so when you do that, and I have the person with electrodes and they're watching computer games, and the computer games speed up their brainwaves, those computer games basically help their brainwaves to go faster. And when the brain is going faster, people think clearer, their memory's better, they're just more intact. Well, guess what? The Juice Plus company has now pulled together an amazing product that has all of this really wonderful different, ingredients in it to get everybody to be able to feel healthy. Can't really do that, but put that over here now so you guys can see what's over there. So what do we have? We have basically these supplement ingredients that we have that are powerful and just so important for all of us to have in our system. Some of the important ones that I've tried in the past are things like lion's mane. I think I have a product of lion's mane right here in my desk over there. And why do we have that? Because they're powerful brain health stimulators. And when they activate the brains and your brain starts going za, za, za and signaling well, when that happens, we all start to feel more energetic. We all start to feel better. We all start to feel like we're in a situation where we know we can just keep moving forward and that we can keep being our best self. And so when I show these products, I just know that when you read about what they are, lion's mane is known for its potential cognitive benefits. It's basically a mushroom that's been studied for its ability to support brain health, memory, and focus. You know, ashwagandha, many of us have heard that and probably have it in our kitchens. It's an adaptogenic herb that may help reduce stress, improve mood, and it support cognitive function. You know, the Alpinia galanga is this herb is believed to have antioxidant properties and may support brain health and cognitive function. And some of us don't think about sage, but sage has traditionally been used for its cognitive enhancing properties and may support focus, which is what a lot of people who come into my office are seeking. So we have this plant-based, vegan, kosher, gluten-free, you know, free from synthetic additives, you know, that's made clean and natural. And one of the things that people do ask about, they do ask about the coffee berry, because people are like, is coffee in it? Well, it doesn't have coffee like we're used to drinking coffee. A coffee berry is rich in antioxidants, and it's known for its potential health benefits. And it basically, again, contributes to the activity of the brain. And when the brain is active, then the rest of us is active too. So we just end up being in a place where we just know we can keep feeling well if we allow ourselves to have the nutrient values that help us to feel well. So I did want to talk about Judy Wilkie, who is on this call tonight, and tell her story. I shared with you my story of falling and hitting my head and bouncing back remarkably well, I'm glad to say. But Judy started out with several years ago with really bad migraine headaches. And most of you know, if you've ever had a migraine, migraines are not well scientifically proven to be easy to treat or mandate or to make smaller. If you find something that works for you, you will stick with it because it is so critically important. So she had migraine headaches. She had an operation on arteries on both sides of her head because she was so sick. She had peripheral or giant cell arthritis. She was put on prednisone for 60 milligrams and for months. And she had an SED rate, which is an inflammatory rate of 100, and it should be about a 10 rating. And she basically illustrated she had inflammation in her body. So she went, so she basically went blind in her peripheral vision of her right eye, and she still has not regained that back yet. So she had a blood clot and she couldn't walk, and she had to be carried to the hospital. And she basically was in 3 different hospitals with blood bleed from medicine from her diabetes, but also she got wounds on her legs. And 3 years later, she basically was working with a doctor with strokes in her legs where she had to have surgery. And 4 doctors worked on her case and basically helped her to reach a point of well-being that came about as a result of her being able to just keep persevering and tell them what she felt she needed. And they came together, the 4 of them, and worked on her recovery. And so she's basically told us that she believes that taking the Juice Plus for so many years and then taking 4 Juice Plus a day during this recovery period, that basically, she says, I'm 86 and I feel healthy today and I feel good overall and I feel glad to be alive. And I love my Juice Plus and how it has helped me to recover. So I think we're all kind of in that position where we feel when we have that kind of an outcome, like I feel like I did with my head injury, we just can say, I feel glad that I recovered. I do want to show you this too. This is, again, an x-ray of an unabsorbed vitamin leaving the body. And when we have organic Juice Plus, we know our body's dissolving it and absorbing it. We don't have all these terrible products that are on the right-hand side that just don't need to be in our body. When we take a multivitamin, there's just no point, and it gets stuck in our body, day before an x-ray, day after an x-ray, 2 days before an x-ray. There's just way too much stuff going on that just doesn't serve any of us well. So here's what I do every day, and here's what most everybody on this call does. We take all of these products, all these foods, and get them in our system and basically help ourselves to feel better. And we feel really lucky and glad that we do that, because it's just such an important thing that we get to do for ourselves. And we're all so thankful and blessed to do that. And I know for me, when I train brains, one of the first things I do is recommend that the parents, if they have children coming, or the clients, get on whole food products like this and start taking this, because I just know their improvement, their well-being, how they feel overall just improves dramatically when they do that. So one of the things we know is that omega-3s, which is so much of a part of our a big part of our product line because we all believe in it and know it works, has shown all this help. It reduces inflammation, it helps the eyes, it helps pregnancy and infancy, helps your heart rate so that you have reduced inflammation and reduced blood pressure and blood clots and plaque and triglycerides, all the things we all strive for every day in our healthy eating, that we all know we don't want arthritic pain and inflammation. We all know we want to have a reduced appetite and to feel good overall. So when you think about what we're doing with the Juice Plus product, we're basically not doing this. We are not eating 99% of 42 different residues in fruits and vegetables. We're just not, because we just know the health of that is just not, it's just not good for us. It's just not what any of us need to be doing at all. So we get this instead. We do this. We get to eat all of this fruits and vegetables and broccolis and carrots and cabbage and all the stuff we do every day, because we know these are the things that keep us well, keep us healthy, and basically help us to go on and be our best selves. And I will never go a day without it. I go every day with Juice Plus in my system, and I start the day that day and I get through the whole day, and I feel good when I come home at the end of a day, which is really lovely. So when I do my shake, I get all this additional nutrition in my system, and I do that by putting all my powder. I take my capsules and put the powder from my capsules into this, and it fills it into my smoothie. And it is a wonderful way to start the day. And some things we see, people's skin clears up, people's, weight goes down. We just see a lot of improvement overall with health and well-being in terms of good nutrition. And this is the one thing many of us on this call actually have this. This is a tower garden. And that was me, showed off my tower garden one year. So if you don't have a tower garden, I highly encourage you to think about getting a tower garden for yourselves this summer. It's truly one of the best gifts you could get yourself or give anybody. So here we go. We're inspiring healthy living around the world, because that's just what we do, because we love it and we're passionate about it, and we can't go a day without it. And so we don't want other people to go a day without it either.
That's so beautiful. It's perfect. The things that I heard in there, I want to just make sure that people knew a little bit about the complete as well. Do you want to just go over kind of what's in the complete?
Yeah.
A little bit why you love it, and then I just want to make a couple of
Sure. Well, that's what's in the complete. It's all those really good things that the Luminate has too, but it has all of those wonderful nutrient values. It's got, chickpea and tofu, rice protein, and, it has broccoli and alfalfa and radish and, quinoa and millet and amaranth. So we just know there's yucca and spirulina, all the things that people have said over the years. And one year my husband was on a spirulina kick, and he had this big package of it, and every morning he'd get up and make himself a big spirulina smoothie. And I'm like, well, I hope that's as good for you as it looks when you're making it. But I think how he could have had all this instead, and he was doing a single product called spirulina. And then you can get this and have it be a wonderful way to put your health and well-being, at the start of your day. So you must do this every too as well, Lolly. You love this.
I do. I absolutely love it. And I love the fact that it's got 8 grams of fiber in it, because many of these shake mixes, well, not only do they not, have this full spectrum of nutrition, but they don't have the fiber in it. And I love that it's got this perfect balance between the carbs, the fats, and the proteins, and the sugar. It's just a really nice balanced.
Yeah. And for me, what it does is I do it for breakfast and lunch, and I mix it here, but I take a big jug of it and I take it to work and I drink it for my breakfast and lunch, and I come home at the end of the day and eat dinner. But it's what I've had so far for a meal, and I'm satisfied and filled up and full and comfortable. And if you asked all my clients, what does she do for breakfast? They go, I don't know. She's got this shake thing. She's always telling me about it.
Well, I started using it with my son, who wouldn't eat breakfast in the morning, and all I could get in was a waffle with sticky syrup or some gross cereal that the milk turned pink. So this was a godsend for me, because he really loved this shake to make a smoothie in the morning. But anyway, I just want to kind of recap some things that you said, and it's the benefits are cumulative with the Juice Plus, and I think that's huge. The longer you are eating more fruits and vegetables and focusing on your nutrition, the benefits of that. And, taking Juice Plus are cumulative. And, it's really not about what you take with the vitamins that you were talking about. It's really about what your body is able to absorb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that was
And it-
another thing. And
Yes.
lastly, I just think,
Uh-huh.
of course, we don't make any claims and there's no guarantees in life, but better
Right.
nutrition will give us an edge. And whatever the body is dealing with, I think it will help deal with it so much better with a good foundation of
Yeah.
nutrition.
And I think so many of us who are in the business, who worked with us, who shared it, who have friends who've taken it, who have, people we've met who said, I'd like that. Oftentimes they say, I just feel more energetic. I just don't sleep as much. I feel like I am healthier. I get out of bed easier. I mean, the kind of the unlimited stories, we've heard so many. We go to conference and we hear these incredible stories that people have told about their mental health improving and their physical health improving, and everything just becomes absolutely a fabulous conclusion when you're getting this kind of nutrition. And it's almost hard when we know people aren't getting the nutrition that they need, because who knows where I would have been after that hard fall that I had, or Judy would have been after her illness, had we not had that nutrition in our system. So I feel very, very blessed to have had that, and to have experienced it for sure. Mhm.
Absolutely. Well, you absolutely did an amazing job being, 'cause I know there's so much information that you can share, and I asked you to just keep it to a half an hour, and you did that so beautifully. And I just want to thank you so much for sharing such incredible information. We're just so grateful for your time. And to all of our guests on the call tonight, please just connect with the person that invited you and share with them, what you learned from this call, what you liked best, any questions that you have. Where really all of us are a wealth of information with our healthcare professionals. So we always can get an answer to your questions. And our next week's call on May 20th, if you're intrigued to learn more about the Luminate, that will be the topic of our call on next Monday night. And yeah, so just stay tuned for that. And I'm just going to, Lori, maybe you could unmute everybody, and then we can say thank you to Rosalyn, and say goodnight, and just
Good
thanks
night.
for joining.
Night.
Thank you.
Thank